So today I want to just share a little bit of leadership insights and particularly just speaking to the leader personally and just where you are on your journey. I've this is insights that are really just coming from my journey. Most importantly also just from what I'm learning as well and I'm coming across a lot of leadership revealed truths, but most importantly, I'm learning right now the true essence of what it means to lead. And those are lessons and learnings that you can only learn within your personal capacity and once you actually start doing it. Leadership, I've said this a number of times, that leadership is not a title, it's not a position, it's a function, and a functioning in your purpose, a functioning in your original intent. Therefore, when you function in your purpose, that attracts people to that which you're functioning in. And people are not per se particularly attracted to you. Some may be, but in general, true people who want to live out that which you're functioning in are people that are attracted to the cause and the purpose in which you're also functioning in as well. And one thing that I'm learning is that leadership is about pursuing a cause that is greater than where you are, what you have, and where you've been. Leadership is about pursuing a cause that is greater than where you are, what you have, and where you've been. Greater than where you are. Oftentimes, you when you're functioning within the confines of your purpose will always be bigger than you. Whenever you find something that is greater and bigger than you to serve, that is when you have found your purpose. Whenever you find something that is bigger or greater than you to serve, that is when you have found, discovered your purpose. And purpose must be discovered, and then you must develop yourself for that purpose, and then you must deploy yourself in that purpose. So purpose must be discovered, and then you must develop yourself for that purpose. So discovery is just where it starts, it's not where it ends. And then you must develop yourself for that purpose, and most importantly, deploy yourself in that purpose. So leadership is about the pursuit of a cause that is greater than where you are. So the cause that you're pursuing may be bigger, greater than the resources that you have right now. And true leadership keeps leading anyway. Never allow the position that you're in now to determine whether you move forward or not. I mean, do well excellently with what you have. Do well excellently with what you have and use the resources that are at your disposal to begin leading in that cause. I mean, you think about great leaders, they started with nothing and they started with, most importantly, what they had. You see leaders today that are revered, that are admired. They have a large number of resources and audiences. But just study, and I'm talking about true leaders here, study their journey, study where they came from, study how they started. They did not start like they were. And remember, I mean, starting is just the first step, but it is important to start. So it's the cause will always be greater than where you are. But then the cause will also be greater than what you have as well. You may not be in possession of the resources that you believe are needed to fulfill that cause in which you're pursuing. And remember, true leadership is about putting the needs and the prosperity of others before before the needs and the prosperity of the leader. The leader must think about what do people need, when do they need it, and how can I get it to them and enrich them, prosper them, most importantly, develop them while I'm at it in the process. And that's what leadership is about. That's why I founded Prodigious Leadership for leaders. I mean, I don't get anything from Prodigious Leadership. It's my form of ministry to leaders to say, this is something I want to create and I want to make it global and I want to make it big. And this is something that I want to create that empowers you leaders on a personal leadership perspective. So it may be bigger than what you have. Literally, I mean, I started Prodigious in 12th grade, and all I had was just a cell phone and an idea. And I put it together. I worked on it. I dreamt about it. I prayed on it. I cried about it. And it's not even quarter way to being fulfilled. There's still a lot of work we have to do, but I'm just coming to you as authentically. I'm not coming to you on a perspective of saying, look at where I am. I'm taking you on this journey with me. I started it a few years ago. Um, and right now, I'm just like, okay, how do we take this thing to the next level? How do we help leaders across the board? And which is some of the things I'm working on. I don't even have the resources to make those things come to pass or to happen, but I'm leading anyway because I believe that resources follow vision. Resources follow vision. Resources don't follow a person. Resources follow vision, and oftentimes we place a lot of emphasis on the person. Let's put emphasis on the vision. The person is the steward of the vision. I'm just the steward of a vision. And when I am no longer here, the vision will go on beyond me to show that it is greater and bigger than me. And like I said, leadership, going into the first pointer, is leadership will always, true leaders will always lead the pursuit of a cause that is greater than where they've been. I think oftentimes our past references they hinder us because we may experience certain strides or achievements in our past, and we think, man, what I'm going into now is going to be a culmination and a determination of what I've done in the past, and that's not what it's about. And I'm about to get into that right now. But I also want to say that impactful leaders go beyond how they feel. I mean, let me put you in perspective right now. I did not feel like doing this video at all because I'm extremely tired. Like, I've had the busiest week. I'm extremely tired, right? And I'm not having enough sleep. I've got a lot to do. But I who cares how I feel? Because I care about the leader, right? My vision is leadership. My vision is transforming leaders globally and pouring into them and depositing within them the tools and the principles and the empowerment that they need to lead with the wisdom of God and effectively in their organizations, in their spheres of influence. So, who cares how I feel? Who cares if I'm tired or not? The cause comes first, right? And the cause comes first. And I'm not saying the cause comes at the expense of the leader, whereby the leader's health is deteriorating, mental well being, emotional well being. No, the leader always has to be good. The leader has to be fine, which means you have to be a good steward and responsible for how you take care of yourself. But what I'm saying is, man, I mean, I don't feel like doing this, but I have to do it. Why? Because impactful leaders go beyond how they feel. And sometimes what hinders us in our leadership journey is we always tap into how we feel and we allow how we feel to rule our leadership trajectory. And a large proportion of our leadership will be us doing things that we do not like. You may not like your voice, but your leadership vision may be, your leadership trajectory may be leading you towards speaking to the masses or speaking to people because your voice is impactful to other people. And remember, the true value inside of you is not for you. The true value inside of you is for you to make an impact and be significant. The true value inside of you is not for you. The true value inside of you is for you to make an impact and be significant. When you lead, it's all about seeing what others cannot see. That's why you've got to make sure that vision is your best companion, man. You got to make sure vision is your companion when you lead, because you've always got to keep your pulse on the vision. You've always got to ensure that your steps are determined by the vision. You've always got to make sure that your decisions are determined by the vision. And you just got to make sure that your actions are determined by the vision as well. So regardless of where I am or how I feel, as a leader, you lead. You put the cause first, and remember, the cause is always about people. It's about whether people are preserved, people are promoted, people are protected. And that's what you've got to ask yourself whenever you're pursuing something: the why, the motive behind it. Are people being preserved, protected, promoted? What is this advancing people at a large scale, and not advancing people at a large scale in terms of quantity, advancing people at a large scale in terms of excellence? Is this advancing people? Because you may just be a leader of two children and you lead with excellence. You're still a great leader. And I cheer for you, man, wherever you are. So leadership is all about seeing, and you have to see what others don't see. And that means you lead with vision. So I want to get into this last point. I break it down, and that's it. So I want to say that leaders occupy the present. They live in the future to ensure that the past never happens again. So leaders occupy the present, they live in the future to ensure that the past never happens again. So leaders occupy the present. So leaders understand that there's a present responsibility, stewardship that's required of me, and I put my all into it and I put my excellence in it. That's why in the beginning I said leadership is all about even pursuing the cause, even if the cause is greater than where you are. I mean, where you are in terms of disposition, positioning, location, environment, stature, in terms of influence, may not be at the level in which you desire for it to be, for you to be an effective leader. And that's okay. Just take the first step and lead. Take the first step and pursue the cause. Pursue that cause that is nudging you, that is burning on the inside of you to help human beings, to help the world become a better place. Do that. When you do that, then it attracts people. But that's not the focus. The focus is to ensure that you remain dedicated in pursuing that cause. So you occupy the present. You realize that there are responsibilities to be done now. Oftentimes, I've seen leaders focus so much on the vision, the vision becomes a hindrance to the occupation of the present. Their vision and their drive of vision becomes a hindrance towards the occupation of the present, which is why leadership has to do with wisdom. You have to be able to compartmentalize things that you need to do and understand context as well. You've got to understand, okay, the vision says this is what the vision says, but where I am right now doesn't look like that. But what are the things that I need to do to bring me there, right? So you occupy the present. You're a good steward of the present. You prepare for the present. Number two, leaders occupy the present, but they live in the future. Now that's vision. So leaders see with their heart, right? They see what others cannot see. They see a better world for those that live in it, and they make it their objective to create that better world. So leaders see a better world for those that live in it, and they make it their objective, they make it their drive to create that better world, right? So they live in the future, they see the vision, they see what is to be, right? They see growth, they see maturity, they see advancement, they see opportunity, they see increase for people, right? Remember, it's all about people at the end of the day. They see that for people. So they live in the future, they occupy the present, and what drives them being able to occupy the present effectively is how they live in the future, because their vision is always at the forefront of everything in which that they do. Number three, leaders ensure that the past never happens again. So leaders always want to go beyond what has already happened. We don't replicate what has already happened. We do better. We go beyond. We may start using copy of what had happened. I mean, there's stuff I draw reference from, but I know that the stuff I'm going to do in the future has some of it has never been done before. But that's how you create history. History, and this is noteworthy, history is created in the small moments of life. History is created in the little pursuits, right? You go up to history, you walk up to history, you don't run up to history. When you create history, you do it in the small pursuits. So let me close it off. Leaders occupy the present, they live in the future to ensure that the past never happens again.